Last year I stumbled upon the opportunity to live in a tool shed, and because I was cheap, I said yes. I wanted to create this video because it's been a unique experience living here, and it's no ordinary studio apartment. It's definitely a lifestyle I've had to adapt to.
The power just went out.
But honestly, now I love it here, and I've been talking about it for a while, and I figured it was finally time to share it with you guys. So I'll get this place cleaned up, and then I'll show you around. So I wanted to get started by giving you guys a general overview of this place, and then we'll get into more of the specifics on how I actually make it work. But immediately when you walk in, you can see it is not your normal apartment. You've got concrete floors, you've got a nice tin roof, tin lights. It's a pretty small place, probably like 400 square foot, but it's really awesome because it's super easy to clean and everything's really just simple. It's great for one person. I've really enjoyed living here so far. I've got my desk set up. It's a pretty normal setup along with this whole corner along here. This is everything you guys see from the YouTube perspective, and then this is my living space on the opposite side. As we make our way over, I've got my equipment set up right here. Grayson and I actually picked this up on the street the other day. Somebody had thrown it out, but this works perfect. I can grab my camera equipment. I've already got it set up down below, different racks, and then I've got my bags just to set up, along with my lights and everything else that I need. I've got a charging station, got my remote, my drone, and my camera batteries plugged up, and really just trying to keep it simple, just so I can take everything, put it in my bags if I need to, and leave it here if I don't. Now, if you come on in here, I've got my bathroom. This is probably the most interesting part. It is... The door just fell off. Oh my gosh. The interesting thing about this room is there is no hot water whatsoever. The shower is cold. And I actually have to use this to wash my dishes, and it's tiny, so it does not work out. Normally I would shower at the gym, but because of what's going on right now, I have to tough it out, get cold showers. I normally do it in the summer, but in the winter it is brutal, so yeah, gotta make it work. In here is kind of where I have my bedroom. Like I said, the whole space is separated. On this side is kind of where I'm living at. We've got a furnace to stay warm in the winter. And then on this side, we've got an air conditioner to stay cool in the summer. And in these corners over here are what I'm talking about. All of this, poor insulation, all of these corners, we've spray foamed it because at one point, my bed was on the opposite side here and I could actually see through the walls. There were cracks, like huge cracks in the walls, and we just had to fix that with some spray foam. But yeah, that's great. Got my clothes over here. And over here, I've got the kitchen. This is not a normal kitchen at all, but I've done my best to make it as normal as possible. There is no stove, there is no kitchen sink. I've replaced the stove with this hot plate right here, and then I've replaced the kitchen sink with this kettle. So I'll actually heat up water here and take it into the bathroom to wash the dishes in that like small sink. Everything else in here is pretty simple. Got a microwave, chopping board, just some standard storage, things like that in the cabinets. I love my coffee, so I've got a Chemex, some coffee that I've been trying at my local grocery store, and then cutting board, a little plant over here, and then a little space heater to keep warm in the winter. That's everything in the general overview. I figured we'll get into some more specifics, talk about how I actually make it work, some of the benefits, and some of the disadvantages to living here.
I forget who gave you this mug anyways. Let's use it in the video.
So an interesting thing about this place is the concrete floors. They're indestructible, but they also destroy anything that you throw at them, including your plates, your glasses, your phone, really anything that touches the floor.
Oh my gosh.
This is actually a very durable cup. This is the first cup to take the concrete like that. Originally, when I was looking for an apartment, my main concern was price, and I knew I was going to have to make some sacrifices in order to find something within my budget. But what I didn't know was some of those sacrifices would end up becoming benefits for me. One example of this is this space itself. This space is actually a lot larger than if I were to rent an apartment. And I've had several opportunities to kind of move in to share a house with somebody, but I choose to stay here simply because I have more space and there are less distractions living by myself. It allows me to get work done and really just to focus, and that's what I need the most. When I first moved in, I did not even think about this, but now looking back, the aesthetic of this place is great. I love it, the concrete floors, the wood accents. It's way better than a plain room or apartment building, and it's something that I didn't even really have to add much to, but it was kind of already here when I got the place. One of the hardest parts about living here is the lack of hot water. That means I'm heating up water to wash dishes, and I'm taking cold showers. Normally I would shower at the gym, but because the gym is closed, I am now taking a cold shower almost every other day, and sometimes even avoiding taking a shower. Another disadvantage is the power. There's limited power in this place, and you've seen it before in the episode with Grayson. We were unboxing the Aperture. Whenever you draw too much power, you can trip the breaker, and it happens more often than not. Whenever I'm cooking, I have to pay attention. I have to turn my heat off in order to allow my stove to work. So I have to make choices on how I'm going to use my power, and I have to be very conservative with it. Another thing I've learned to manage here is the temperature. When I first started off, I used a furnace in order to heat the place, and the struggle with that is that the way it's built, sometimes it will smoke the entire room up. It'd be in the middle of winter, it would be 20 degrees outside. I would have to open up all the windows, let all the smoke out, and stand outside until it was all gone. Lastly, this isn't really a problem, but I don't have a place to do my laundry, so I have to go elsewhere to do it. That includes the laundromat or visiting some family in order to hang out and wash my clothes. I definitely think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages for me, and I still choose to live here because I love it here. And honestly, if I left, I would definitely try to build something very similar for myself to continue to live in and to work and just to do my own thing. So if you want any more videos regarding this lifestyle and how I live inside the tool shed, you can leave them in the comments below. This is episode 3 of 100, where I try to make a video each better than the last. If you have any feedback for me, you can also leave that in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.